So, as usual, I'm driving and I notice bad drivers. And I know everybody else notices these bad drivers on the road. There's a lot of them. And I think they never, ever get in trouble. And it's pretty frustrating because they are breaking laws. They are making it inconvenient for other drivers. And quite honestly, they're making the roads dangerous. Can we all agree that something's got to be done? Something's got to be done. I think in most states, there are actual state laws that says you have to stay on the right lane in a highway unless you are actively passing a vehicle. So let's say on a 2-lane highway, 2 lanes going in the same direction. People should stay on the right side, but move over to the left side to pass slower vehicles. What I always see is 2 lanes going the same direction, and both the car on the left lane and the right lane are like neck and neck, and they do this for miles, and I cannot pass them. It is extremely frustrating. Extremely frustrating. And like while we're driving, there's all these signs like, exit 22, speed limit 55. And then as frequently as those signs appear, there's these signs that say, stay right except to pass. Something to that effect. We've got to... People are obviously not paying attention to these signs. And they are just, maybe they're just simply not aware of what they're doing. So we got to politely inform these drivers while we're driving, right? So, maybe just a slight honk. Don't blast your horn, just be like honk honk. Hey, I'm trying to pass, right? Please move over. And if they do move over, I always make sure, if it's not nighttime, I wave. I'm not sure if they can see me in the car. They probably could. I wave. Thank you. I hope maybe in the future we can be able to communicate, car to car. So I'll just be like, hey, get out of the way, please. And then when they do get out of the way, I'll say, thank you very much. I'm sure that'll never happen because road rage would be insane if people could hear each other speak. But if you're driving and if you are trying to pass someone, honk. Don't like just be like beep beep, and hopefully they'll hear you and they'll say, oh, okay, this guy wants to pass. And if they move over to the right lane, let you pass, wave if it's not nighttime as you're passing. Just be like, hey, thank you. I'm gonna put up like some type of thank you sign on the back of my car. I'm not sure. I had to check state laws, but something where I could like push a button. It was just like flash, thank you. If you are a slower driver, please be aware. Stay on the right lane. Like, what's the point of being on the left lane if you're literally like going the same speed as the car on the right lane, right? That doesn't make any sense. Just move over to the right lane and you're still going to get to your destination in the same amount of time. But if you're on the left lane, you're blocking it for people who choose to go faster. And it is an inconvenience for people who are trying to drive faster, but also it's dangerous so what I see sometimes is, okay, let's go to a 3-lane example. So 3 lanes going the same direction. If the middle and the left lane are blocked because 2 cars are going at the same speed, right? So the left lane and the middle lane, there's 2 cars, but the right lane, where they should both be, is totally empty, which happens a lot. You'll see a car having to go from the left lane to the middle lane to the right lane, pass both cars, and then eventually go back to either the middle lane or the left lane because you're going to run into slower cars in the future. So you see these cars having to swerve a lot. And when I do stuff like that, I obviously make sure I'm not changing lanes extremely quickly so that I don't, happen to lose control, especially on a rainy day or if the roads are icy. But you'll see some drivers, and it's probably typically young males, let's be honest, who will like swerve. Like you'll see their car like shift. The weight shift is so dramatic. You'll see what's called it's almost like they're fishtailing, right? The back of their car kind of like kicks out a little bit. It's extremely dangerous, and I know that causes a lot of accidents on the road. Actually, I remember a few years ago, I literally saw that happening right before my eyes. It was extremely scary, where a car was doing that thing where he was going all the way to the right lane to pass the two slower cars on the left and the middle lane, and then he tried to quickly go back to the middle lane because there was, as soon as he passed the slower cars, there was a slow car on the right lane, and he lost control of his vehicle, and like so I was going the same direction as he lost control, and I saw him like face to face because he did a 180? Yeah, 180. Like his car was facing the wrong direction, and this is on the highway. Like we were going at least 50, 60. It was, and I saw like his face. It was pretty scary. Like I saw his face. It happened right before me. Luckily, everything was fine. I mean, he just lost control. Everybody on the highway stopped, and it was fine. It was not a big deal. But it could have just been simply avoided. People stick to the right lane. To be honest, I never, like when it's 3 lanes, I'm usually never on the right lane. Maybe I'll stay on the middle lane because I know I'm going to have to eventually switch over. But I'm never like on the middle or the left lane when there's 3 lanes and blocking people behind me. Just let's just not do that. And if you happen to be in the car and a driver's doing that, just let them know. Just, if it's like a family member or a friend, just be like, hey, think about what you're doing. If it's like a Uber driver or just someone maybe you're not very close to, I don't know how to deal with that. Just be like, just tell them. It probably is a state law. Look this up in your state, but I'm pretty sure in most states it's a state law. And honestly, even if it's not a law, it's just common courtesy. Go to the right lane, all right?